So my presentation is over ocean pollution and global throwaway culture in general. Throwaway culture is a term that was coined kind of in response to consumerism, which originated in Western society but is diffused all over the world. Consumerism is just the idea of constantly buying things all the time, and a lot of the times these things have unnecessary plastic packaging that has to be thrown away, hence the term throwaway culture. An excess amount of production and industry has created this seemingly endless stream of waste, something that has impacted just about every aspect of the natural world, especially the ocean. So in my story map, I will be highlighting 10 different locations that are the top polluters of plastic waste into the ocean. So first I have a map that actually tracks the largest known plastic waste streams from different countries. And it's important to note that the majority of the world's producers of plastic waste don't dispose of their waste into the oceans with the intention of negatively impacting the environment. It's not that they don't care, they just don't have the infrastructure and the energy and the funds to operate an effective waste disposal program. First is Indonesia. It's actually one of the world's largest producers of plastic waste. Recent statistics suggest that about 200,000 tons of plastic waste enter the ocean every single year just through their rivers. So as of September of this year, pretty recently, they've pledged about $1 billion to a fund in an attempt to cut down on the amount of waste they put into the ocean. Next is China, which does not typically have a good environmental reputation in general because of their air pollution. But according to the Ocean Conservancy, over 60% of the ocean's waste is distributed from only 5 countries, and China is among the top 3. Attempts have been made to clean up China's plastic problem, but they're met with adversity because people are putting economic gain over the environment, which is understandable whenever you're trying to get your country up to standards with everyone else, but it's still not great. Next is India. It's a prime example of a developing country that has to put economic gain over the issues of the environment. There have been attempts to make people aware of the damage of throwaway plastics, but it's kind of impossible to expect everyone to care about this and make big strides about this whenever a lot of the country does not have access to simple living necessities. Next are the Philippines. Island nations like the Philippines that are surrounded by the ocean and is so present in day-to-day culture, it's almost impossible to expect them to not have a waste problem because it's not only their domestic waste, but they also have a lot of waste washing up on their shores. However, they are a big plastic polluter and they do have an immense amount of plastic waste. They are trying to get better about it, but it is not quite there yet. Then there's Thailand. Western culture, as I was talking about before, has diffused into the Asian countries, and a lot of places have picked up the kind of convenience habit that exists in the United States, and Thailand has definitely picked that up. Their throwaway trash levels have just skyrocketed, and you can tell a lot of their beaches are absolutely ruined, and pictures like the one on the far right show you just how bad it is. Next is Vietnam. They produce so much domestic waste that their tourist beaches are almost impossible. They have a lot of World Heritage sites, and some of them are just disgusting. However, they are trying to make it better. A recent implementation of policy by the government attempts to alleviate the problem by creating and offering a waste disposal program. Next is South Africa, which was pretty surprising to me, but it turns out they've actually been in the top 10 list of plastic pollution for quite some time, but they're definitely working on improving that. They made a lot of big moves just even in the last year trying to cut down. Then Egypt. They've made steps to cut back on their contribution to the pollution of the oceans, specifically through the use of plastic bags. That's one of the things that they're trying to cut out first before anything else. Next is Sri Lanka. They have long been considered one of the largest polluters, and unlike everyone else, they have not made any big moves on trying to change anything. Last is Nigeria. So Nigeria is a country that kind of turned its waste problem into an asset of sorts. they're definitely working on preventing waste, but they are also using what they have. It is a big thing in the culture there to not let anything go to waste and to be as resourceful and innovative as you can. They do a lot of upcycling, a lot of recycling in order to make sure that even if they do have waste, it is not completely going to waste. And here are my sources.